Hey, I'm back to talk about week two of Rocket Summer, the 1940s. I read quite a bit of books, quite a number of books, quite a bit of books. What the heck? Anyway, I'll talk about some today. I've got them divided into two kind of different categories. So I'm going to talk about three today, which are two by Fritz Leiber and one by Catherine Moore, C.L. Moore. So I'm going to start with the Fritz Leiber's first. The first one I read was Gathered Darkness, which was, what year was that? 1942, I think. 1943 in Astounding. Let's see if I have the Astounding cover here. Thought I had. Here's another cover for it. It's if you like um, Candle for Leibowitz, you probably like this. It's set in a similar kind of milieu. Is like after an atomic war. It's the main character is a priest or a cleric, I should say, in this state religion. They live in this big city called Mega. It's not Megalopolis. It's something like that. It's even Mega Superlopolis or something like that. He discovers that, or he feels the religions become corrupt. The religion they have in their society. Is this camera straight? And he's correct. What's interesting about this book, and then so he kind of goes underground and he joins sort of an alternative religion that is trying to take over the government, and they are called the witchcraft. He also suspects them. He's got a real problem with the corruption that's going to be inherent in any kind of government that takes over. It's a theocracy. What I found interesting about the book is everybody knows what's going on. It's not like they're in a dark ages. They know it's a post-atomic age. The people who run the state religion that he's rebelling against, I wish I remembered his name, are faking it. They're they've invented a fake religion to try and get civilization back on track, but he thinks they're too corrupt, and there's a lot of quasi magic in it. It's one of those science fiction novels that's really written like a fantasy novel, because the technology is advanced that people don't know if it's magic or religion. And I highly recommend it. It's beautifully written, like all of Fritz Leiber's books. I also read by him, what's the other one called? Destiny TimesThree, which I didn't quite like quite as much, but it's still pretty good. It's about these two guys, one guy and his friend. It's kind of, if you like Leiber's Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser stories, you probably like this. It's kind of a similar kind of relationship. Well, quite different, but a similar theme of male friendship. They discover it's an alternative reality. They discover that there's parallel realities going on. This was written 1945. It's very conscious of the war. There's a kind of a primitive age they go through, plus a contemporary age, plus a future post-apocalyptic age, um, which was on people's minds. It's quite short. It's pretty good. It's very well written. It's very well worked out, as most of the stories are. And what was the other one I wanted to talk about today? This is just a quick covering up of a few things. I've got some others to talk about in my next video. Oh no, did I not make it? Oh, here it is. C.L. Moore, Judgment Night. This was also 43 from Astounding. It's an amazing book. C.L. Moore, I think she's mostly known for her Jurel of Jory stories, or however you say it, that appeared in Weird Tales around the same time as the Conan stories of Robert Howard appeared, and also her Northwest Smith stories, which are excellent, sort of a kind of a Indiana Jones in space kind of character. Obviously, a big influence on George Lucas in a lot of ways. And then within the science fiction field, her stuff is also very influential. Influential. She was a big influence on uh, Robert Silverberg, I would say, from reading a lot of his work recently. She's a big influence on his 60s and 70s work. She's also famous in another mode for her collaborations with her husband, Henry Kuttner, like the Vintage Season and other stories that would either appear under one or another of their names or under the I got a little thing in my throat today, um, under the pen name Lewis Paget. But there's this book by her. I don't know if it's as well known anymore, but it is fantastic. Judgment Night. It's a space opera. It's a far future space empire. If you like Dune, or if you like Foundation or those kind of things. Here's another cover. Here's a Kelly Frias cover of one of the periods. It's quite short. It's a novella. For a while, there was a print edition of it with four other of her books. It's extremely well written. It's beautifully written to a degree that I don't want to understate, because it's really opulent. You can see it reflected in the style of Silverberg when he wrote things like Up the Wall of the World and Night Wings and that kind of thing. And it's amazingly short. It's an entire epic of this struggle for to save a galactic empire that's fallen into decay. The main hero is the sole heiress of the emperor in a world where normally the way it's set up, the way she's set up, it's normally the empire passes to the son, but this particular empire doesn't have a son, so she's going to be the empress, and eventually, and he's kind of a I think he's the 99th emperor. There's been over the last three emperors, the 97th, 98th, and 99th emperors, something like that. The empire's been like besieged by like outside forces, and there's now this one race is coming in. And they're called what are they called? I should have made more notes. The something, the Horum or something, the hormones, not the hormones. Uh, and they have a good chance in really destroying the empire. And she is not about to let this happen. She's much more of Machiavellian character. Her father is kind of like whatever happens. He's kind of the lion's been in charge for so long. They're really decadent and they've really kind of lost the will. But she wants to survive things, and they're centered on this one particular world, which is got a very interesting ecosystem, and it's got politics and world building and beautiful writing and beautiful descriptions of this empire and things that going in on it, and her quite Machiavellian way of trying to save it. So, and it's probably only like 150 pages. I don't know, because I read the ebook copies usually, but it takes an hour and a half or so to read. But it's as much world building practically as what people take 3 to 6 novels to do these days. And so, kudos to her. I'm going to read. I have something else. Going to read by her, and of course more Fritz Leiber to read in the 50s coming up. In another video in a day or so, I'm going to talk about some other books I read this week, which were fix-up novels. So I thought that'd be good to group together and talk about the idea of fix-up novels. So look for that. This is just a short catch-up video while I'm feeling a little bit congested, and I don't know what's going on, if I'm getting a cold or what. But anyway, hope you're reading something great, and I will talk to you later.